Hola, soy Tomás y aprendo español. I'd like to thank you for watching my previous video about my decision to learn Spanish in 2019, and I hope your language learning journey is coming along well. Spanish is just one of several languages that I've learned, but because of the response that I'm getting from the previous video, I decided to do another one. It's middle of January, so if you made a New Year's resolution to learn a new language, you've come to the right place. This is the Esperanto Variety Show. We have videos every Thursday in Esperanto or about Esperanto. And going into 2019, we have additional tips and tricks and other information if you're learning a new language, no matter which language you're learning. And a quick note to the regular subscribers, we'll have more Esperanto coming up, but I hope you need tips too, Greg. We're all learning together. So here we go. Okay, so the story so far. I have been learning languages for 30 years, kind of a language junkie. And so 2019, I made it my resolution to work through this book. My goal is to do 2 pages per day. Quite honestly, I'm a little bit behind that, but we'll be making that up in the next couple days. Finish that book by the end of the year and see how that impacts my Spanish. So last week I did a video about my decision to learn Spanish this year, and I got a great response. I got quite a few other people who are learning Spanish commented that they're also learning, or what they're working on. And I got quite a few people from around the world, the Spanish-speaking world, also native speakers. From Honduras, Panama, Costa Rica, Spain, Venezuela, and I'm sure quite a few other countries. I knew there were some other native speakers that didn't mention what country where they were from. Thank you guys so much for your feedback. I've already learned some mistakes that I made last week. We're gonna talk about that coming up. Things that I can improve, and hopefully, if you're learning, that will help you improve. I do want to thank you guys so much for your feedback. It's really helpful. I caught on to the fact that we've got second language English speakers watching this video, so I've added subtitles there. We've got the English captions in there. Hopefully that's helpful. But your comments for me have been very helpful and very encouraging, so thank you. One thing that I learned that was especially helpful was I was mispronouncing the word seguir. The U is essentially silent, and it's just there to show that it's a hard G sound. So seguir. In last week's video, I mentioned that there was a word that was tripping me up a little bit because I couldn't remember which one of these words that end in O was feminine. So some people said, well, all words that end in O, or most words that end in O, are masculine in Spanish. And yeah, I know that was one of the things I've picked up long ago, but it's the exceptions that I'm trying to learn and remembering exactly which ones they were. And so I gave a short list that came from the book I'm learning from. And those words were la foto, la mano, la radio. And somebody pointed out that la foto is feminine because it's short for fotografía. And similarly, we have other words that end in O, and so you might think they were masculine, like la moto, la intro, and la disco. But that's short for la motocicleta, la introducción, and la discoteca. Tip of the week. The tip of the week is buy a book. Don't be afraid of spending money. Books are not that expensive when you consider how many hours you can put into studying. I plan on this book taking me a full year to get through. I've forgotten how much I paid for it, probably $25. And that's really trivial in comparison to the amount of time that we put into this sort of thing, right? It takes a lot of time to learn a language, so don't be afraid to buy a book. There are a couple of reasons why I think books are a good thing. One is you know that it's a trustworthy source. Some of the popular language learning sites have their own flaws, and so do the books, but at least the book gives you another perspective. One thing that a book requires is that you actually write out your exercises. It's helpful to write things out. You'll see this in weeks coming up. When I do Duolingo, I don't always pay attention to the accents because the system will let the answers go through even if I don't type the accents, and it's a little tricky to type them. I know. I can just see the comments already. Hey, you just have to install a keyboard. Good idea. Let's talk about that coming up. As you're writing them out, though, you think, okay, here's the word. Where does the accent go? Right? It's a different way of processing the information, and it lets it go into your brain a different way. And then you go through manually and check your answers in the answer key. You want to make sure you get a book with an answer key. And that's an additional opportunity to learn. Related to that, get a dictionary. Last night as I was going to bed, I was thinking about a question that I'd seen. I didn't get a chance to answer it, but I got a notification that somebody was asking a question about Esperanto, and they said, what is the difference between this word and that word? The one word was the word for today, which in Spanish is hoy. We just pretend. And the other question was day, el día. Right, so what's the difference between hoy and el día? And it would be just a simple thing to open a dictionary and say, one means day, one means today. And I know the difference, and that would have been it. But the person presumably didn't have a dictionary, didn't know where to turn, posted a question on the forum. Hopefully they got a good answer. Actually, I think I answered it. I would be careful about which dictionaries you use. I would avoid some of the user-edited ones. They can sometimes have mistakes in them. But I actually have some questions that I had written that I wanted to ask. And as I'm looking at my questions, I realized, oh, wait a second, I haven't looked in the dictionary. So I thought, well, do I have a dictionary? And I was like, yeah, well, that's right. This is my, this is actually an English dictionary, but it's got a Spanish dictionary in the back. I think this book has tiquete in it. And the thing is, as you're looking through the dictionary, you're thinking of the word in your head. So it takes time to physically turn the pages. And the word is stuck in your head, and you're practicing that word as you do it. And I did not find the answer in the dictionary. So I'm going to ask you. After I didn't find the word in the dictionary, I did a Google search and found some information on it. And as I understand it, they both kind of mean the same thing, but there's regional and dialectical differences. I would love your feedback. Where can you use which word? In which circumstances might you use one word or the other word? And if you're interested in the answer, also check to see if other people are doing that. And I invite you to ask your questions down below. If you're learning Spanish and there's something you're working on, you have a question, put it down in the comment. Hopefully somebody will answer it. If not, I can bring it up in a future week. One final bit, another bit of feedback I got from the last week was, wish we'd heard more Spanish from you, and I'm working on it. I found some jokes. I've read the first joke already. I mean, I've seen it already. The other ones I'm going to see if I get my natural reaction to that one. All right, so anyway. ¿Cómo llama el vaquero a su hija? ¡Hija! En la escuela, la maestra dice, a ver, Luis, ¿cómo te imaginas la escuela ideal? Cerrada, maestra, cerrada. Oh yeah, I get it. Cerrada. Abierto, cerrado. ¿Sabe los dos palabras que te abrirán muchas puertas en el mundo? Oh, I think I understand that. My dad used to say that all the time. These words open doors like keys. They are thank you and also please. Tire y empuje. Tire y empuje. ¿Por qué está triste el cuaderno de matemáticas? ¿Por qué está triste el cuaderno de matemáticas? Porque tiene muchos problemas. Why is the math notebook sad? Because it has a lot of problems. All right, I did understand it. It just wasn't funny. Matarnos. No idea. No entiendo. Another one. Here we go. Un soldado le dice a otra, viene gente, ¿son amigos o enemigos? Deben ser amigos porque vienen todos juntos. All right, I don't want to be behind the lines with that guy. Okay, here we go. Te echo de menos is one way to say I miss you in Spanish. Te echo de menos. ¿Qué le dijo un techo a otra techo? Techo de menos. Ah, that is about all I can take. All right, well, if you want more jokes, I will put the link to the original joke page in the description. More about language tips. Here's the playlist for you here. It will include last week's video and some information I have about how I became fluent in Esperanto, some tips that will work also for other languages, and any upcoming videos that I have. Also, I invite you to subscribe, and there we go. Thank you. See you there.